Never ignore the red flags. Now, you have to identify what those red flags are. For me, respect is everything. What up, y'all? Welcome back to the Pretty Girl Progression Podcast. I am your girl, Sherelle. And if you are new here, welcome. I hope you stay. And if you've been here before, welcome back. And as always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Now, I definitely want to shout out our featured sponsor, Lafette Rosé. Now, Lafette has a multitude of wines, different wines. I mean, from red wine to whites to rosé, which is my favorite. The link will be in the description to grab your bottle today. Make sure you let them know that Pretty Girl Progression sent you. Now, let's cheers to that. I swear it gives me superpowers. Now, y'all, I have created something super magical for you, which is my free ebook. It's 10 tips to personal development. It's everything from doing your personal work to grounding, just building confidence, all the different tricks that I've used throughout the years. So make sure you grab your free ebook on www.prettygirlprogression.com, and you will also find the merchandise there as well. We have everything from duffel bags, which you can use as your gym bag, your overnight bag to see your boo, and we have journals, shirts. Anything you grab there helps support the channel, so make sure you grab your merch today. Now, my favorite part is the PGP word of the day. So if you don't have your journal, grab your journal right now, because as always, we're going to write down the PGP word of the day, which is ignore. Now, to ignore, to refuse, to take notice, or to acknowledge, also to disregard intentionally. Why is this so important? Because today we're talking about never ignoring the red flags. Let me take another drink to that. Now, we've all been there. So let's just kind of break down what it means to not ignore the red flags, right? So the first step would be to identify what these red flags are. It might seem super simple, but listen, I'm a big auntie. Somebody had to school me at one point as well. So I'm just giving the game back to you, right? First things first, respect. If you are dating someone's trying to court you, someone's trying to holler at you, slide in your DMs, whatever it may be, you are now in communication with a person. You have to identify what those red flags are. For me, respect is everything. Not just respect for me, but how do you respect the people around you? If you don't have respect for people around you, that is a red flag. How you handle yourself during conflict. Are you a hothead? Is he a hothead? Right? You definitely want to make sure, because let's say somebody stepped on your significant other's Air Force Ones. Is it going to be a conversation like, waiting for the person to say, excuse me, sorry, whatever, or they're ready to go to war? Pay attention to that. How the person handles their business. Now, I'm big on this because if you can screw over your business partner, you lack integrity. So be mindful of that, because that is a huge red flag, a big component. How you handle your family. And when I say I'm really speaking on how that person handles their family, right? How does that person handle their family? Are they disrespectful towards their mother? Do they, hate their siblings? Do They just do certain things that you would feel uncomfortable with and things that you wouldn't do towards your family. So that is important. And most importantly, how does that person handle you? This is really the key to how you want someone to court you the right way. If you ignore those kind of red flags, you're going to spiral down into a whole nother situation, right? Now, I also want to talk about why we ignore these red flags. So number one was, let's identify what the red flags are. Number two is why we tend to ignore the red flags. I personally believe that we tend to ignore the red flags because we lack confidence. I mean, it could be confidence in your beauty. It could be confidence in your living situation. It could be confidence in your job. It could be confidence on what you're driving. You tend to lack confidence in these areas, so you allow people to treat you worse than because the lack of confidence. Also, we ignore because low self-esteem. You know, us women, we're the hardest on ourselves, right? We're either saying that we're too big or too small. We want to enhance this. We wish we didn't have that. And let me first start off by saying you are perfect the way you are. God don't make no mistakes. Okay? We also tend to ignore because we want attention. Now, everyone has social media, right? Everybody tends to slide in the DM. And that little hey or that consistent person who's always like harassing you in your DMs, because you feel like they are being super consistent with you, you would give that person a chance, not even realizing what they're all about, right? So the attention is, I find, a big thing. When someone gives you attention, you latch on to it, right? Good or bad. We tend to just want to have fun. How many times do we hear, oh, I'm just going with the flow. I'm just here for a good time, not a long time. So you tend to ignore it because that person could be feeding like that inner child in you where you're like, I just want to have fun. I just want to enjoy life. I just want to go on these trips and these vacations. Whole time you go on this vacation and this person is spitting on you, disrespecting you, degrading you, all because you wanted to have fun. Okay? Another, we ignore because we don't want to be alone. I know this one is a tough one for most people because either you are always in a relationship, like you literally don't know how to be by yourself, or you've been by yourself for so long, the first person who comes around and gives you attention, you like bag and tag it. That's why we tend to ignore. It's funny. I have so many different situations where I or people that I know have ignored the red flags because this person may have more than them. So they settle for the disrespect and all the things. But trust me, if it don't make you feel good, pay attention to that. And you know, your gut will never steer you wrong. You know, us women, we have this like woman's intuition that literally never fails us. Sometimes I don't even need to ask somebody, you know, for clarity. It's me and God and my women intuition that God has gifted me, us all with, that will allow it to reveal itself, whether it be in a dream. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Or just like that real confirmation, like blatantly in your face, right? So that's why we tend to ignore those. And number 3, never ignore the red flags. Now, think about this. What could happen when you start to ignore the red flags? Number 1, time waits for no man. 1 minute you're having a good time, next minute it's years down the line and you're still trying to be Barbara the Builder trying to fix this man up, or woman, depending on what you like, right? You tend to just keep going on with the same mundane thing, that whatever's happening, the same cycle. No, years are passing you by, and you're literally going to waste your best years on someone in something that does not serve you, right? You got to be mindful of that. Something else. You can literally have the life force sucked out of you. Now, have you ever been in a situation, or have seen someone in a situation that they've dated someone that they truly love, they care about, and they gain that happy weight that oh, I'm going on vacation with my man, we're eating out great. You can just tell that they're glowing and that they're happy, and they just have this spirit about them that life is amazing. The flip side, have you ever seen someone, I'll give an example. On this show, we don't talk about hot topics, but I'm going to give an example because I feel like we can all learn from this. Now, I do not know these people personally, so let me just start off by saying this. And my heart goes out to whatever their situation is. But from the outside looking in, this is what it seemed like to me. Erica Mena and Safari. We all know them from Love and Hip Hop, right? If you know a little bit about the backstory, this man has pursued her for a long time. He made it known that he wanted to be with this woman for a very long time. And finally, when she caved into him, they got married, they had children, and he truly revealed himself. I'm sure she saw the red flags, but that's when she really took notice on, apparently, allegedly, he's not being a great father. But I say the life force was literally sucked out of her. You can tell that she was stressed out. She dropped crazy weight. And again, this is just from the outside looking in. Someone can literally drain your energy. Someone can stress you out so bad where you can go to the hospital, all because you ignored the red flags that you should have paid attention to in the beginning. Never hold on to something that you just want it to work so bad, knowing that there's something in your spirit that's saying, exit stage left, run, And again, my heart goes out to her, but from the outside looking in, he definitely drained her life force, And from what I see now, she's looking better because she done left him. So kudos to you, girl. Now, this another one is a really big one. I'll end with this. A lot of women get in a very lucky situation where they don't have children by the man that they've been going through hell and back with, right? They could walk away from it unscathed for the most part when children are not born into this. But imagine you knowing that you have all these red flags, you don't have a child, and then boom, you are pregnant. Now you have to bring a child into this world, into this toxicity. Just imagine what that will do to you mentally, physically, emotionally, and what that's going to be for the child. If you don't have a child right now and you're going through a toxic situation and red flags are just popping up left and right, leave. Consider yourself blessed in saying hey, I'm being spared right now. I need to get out of this situation. I know I have. I've literally had an ex before tell me he was going to burn me in my car. But you know what? The red flags were there from day one. I mean, literally the first date. Okay? And because I did not have children with this man, I realized really quickly that God was really covering me on this. Now, to the women who end up having children, I'm not saying that this is your punishment. It's still a blessing. But think about all the times that the Lord really threw you that fishing rod to get you out of this. and you just chose to ignore it. You chose to want to continue to help and build with this person, that you wanted to be Miss Barbara the Builder. Never do that. Put yourself first, literally. You deserve better. You just deserve better. And there's no man or woman who should put you through so much hell and back. Love should not hurt. Love, you just go through trials and tribulations, but it should not physically hurt. It shouldn't mentally drain you. It should just really put you in a place to become your best self. And if it's not that, exit stage left fast. Okay, homegirl? So I'm just going to leave you guys with that, okay? So just to rewind, the first one is identifying your red flags and knowing that you need to be able to identify them immediately, what you would go for and what you will not go for. Number 2, why we tend to ignore the red flags. What in you is saying, damn, I need to work on this. That's why I keep going through the same patterns with different men. And number 3, never ignore the red flags. Pretty self-explanatory, okay? So, like always, beautiful queens, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comment sections any helpful tips that you can share to one of your friends, one of your sisters, one of your PGP girls, so they can know, what to do next. And also grab the free ebook, The 10 Tips to Personal Development. And yeah, if you want to chat it up, you can always email me. All the links will be in the description below. And until next time, beautiful queens.